Good morning, friends. Now, I think today is the concluding session on the drama Aam Chandi Man by George Bernard Shaw. We have discussed in details through the videos also, and even prior to the video making during the class also. I have had various interactive sessions with you regarding different aspects of the drama by George Bernard Shaw, about George Bernard Shaw also, and so many factors, the characters, events, everything we have discussed very analytically. Now today, the ultimate question which arises, and just from examination point of view also, very often it has been asked in the university examination of pre-second year English, what is the ultimate message of the play Aam Chandi Man? Now, as it is quite evident from the discussions that we have had in past about George Bernard Shaw, his approach, his philosophy, different characters of this drama Aam Chandi Man, situations and conditions. So, when the question comes before us that what is the ultimate message of this drama, I think we can very easily mention two facts. Basically, George Bernard Shaw intended to convey to the people the futility of war and the negative consequences of romanticity. Both. Some critics consider that George Bernard Shaw had become a little bit sadist when he afforded to such extreme anti-romantic characters and making them hero. At the same time, war, as Sir Walter Scott considered it, a glorious and an event of bravery, an opportunity to prove a man how patriot he or she is. But George Bernard Shaw, quite contrary to these prevalent ideas, considered that war was completely a negative proposition and there was no glory attached to war. Even for very higher and sacred purposes, if the wars are fought, George Bernard Shaw, through this drama, has clearly tried to manifest that wars are futile, their consequences are negative, and there is nothing like glory associated with the war. War is a destruction. War results in massacres, and it drops the humanity from its sacred path, sacred goal in life, to live a happy and contented life. As George Bernard Shaw feels, and in Aam Chandi Man he has just projected bluntly against Sergius. Sergius is a brave soldier. Sergius is ready to sacrifice his life for his country. And this Swiss soldier belonging to Switzerland, coming from a very wealthy family, having very costly hotels in Switzerland, participates in the war only as a mercenary because his purpose was to earn money by his participation in the war. He is not dedicated or devoted to the motherland. He has least considerations for the ideals for which people sacrifice their lives at the altar of the motherland. So, now it was possible only by a daring and genius dramatist like George Bernard Shaw to challenge the established values and ethics. War was considered to be a glorious event for a country because the brave soldiers, the sons of that soil, came forward to sacrifice their life, shedding blood to protect the people of their country and their motherland. Now, George Bernard Shaw here exposes that it has to be avoided and there was no glory associated with sacrificing the life for the motherland. This is completely, to some extent, a very humorous aspect, but surprisingly, George Bernard Shaw himself converted the glory of war into the act of a fool. He considered that war was a dull affair which crushed the humanity. Now these two characters which have been projected prominently, Sergius and Blentersley, and in between them there is Raina, the heroine of the drama. In the beginning part of the drama, we find that Raina is a well-read, intellectual lady belonging to an aristocratic family, and she nourishes high values, higher human values. She believes in romanticity. She believes in the emotional and sentimental relationships. She believes in the glory of love, and at the same time she believes in the glory of war also, because she is herself the daughter of a very, very senior officer of Bulgarian army, a brigadier, Mr. Petkov. So, when we proceed ahead and come towards the end of the drama, we find that altogether George Bernard Shaw has completely negated the glory of the war, and he feels without any ambiguity, there is no ambiguity in his expression, that wars are futile, they should be avoided at any cost, and the soldiers who are glorified by the countries for sacrificing their lives for the nation are considered to be fools, as Sergius. Sergius takes actions one after another which are deadly dangerous and which may bring fatal impact. He may die, but he is fearless with the spirit of serving the motherland and with the spirit of sacrificing his life for the nation. Now, just his counterpart, Blentersley, whose interest itself appears to be villainous. He blackmails the lady of the house, the lady so well read and belonging to such an aristocratic family. He starts blackmailing her. And even after this shameful act of blackmailing a lady, he gradually improves his own image by his arguments, and the climax goes there when Raina, having the quality of rationality, Raina, who is well read, but one after another, her ideas and false notions of glories of war and romanticity are smashed by the logics given by Blentersley. And Blentersley ultimately succeeds in convincing Raina that instead of sacrificing the life for the nation, it is always preferable to protect the life even by being an evader and earn money, collect wealth and try to spend a wealthy life. And Raina is convinced by him. George Bernard Shaw has hit two major points, war and love. Now, regarding love, he says that he has proved that the love based on romanticity is not appreciable and it may not be a lasting event, because as George Bernard Shaw has projected, a moment comes when sentiments and emotions are eroded, and when facing the realities of life, this romanticity and sentimentalism proves to be disastrous for the life of a couple. It does not remain a lasting relationship, and that's why, although he advocates a very ideal theory and ideal explanation of marriage, as we have discussed in other chapters also, he says that marriage is a pious bond between two souls, but at the same time he clarifies it he makes it explicitly clear that this sacred bond is not based on sentiments, emotions, and romanticity. This sacred bond is based on practical considerations and realities of life. That is why a lady like Raina prefers to opt Blentersley as her husband rather than marrying Sergius, who is ready to sacrifice his life for the motherland. Now you see, there has been various occasions in the drama when a very tense and situation of ideals come forward, but by the logics and arguments through various characters, George Bernard Shaw converts it into a humor, and that humor makes romanticity, emotions, sentiments as farce. And at the same time, George Bernard Shaw also proves that war is an act of folly. There is no wisdom behind the act of war. It is not the question of agreeing or not agreeing with George Bernard Shaw. He had his own ideas. He had his own philosophy, which the world considered. It was considered, and there was some semblance of truth and reality in it. That is why even today we study George Bernard Shaw. Had it been without any substance, without any eternal substance, he might have been forgotten. But English literature has not forgotten George Bernard Shaw. Even today, George Bernard Shaw is one of the most appreciated dramatists. And so, we have to consider, we feel compelled to consider the fact that what George Bernard Shaw is trying to convey, what George Bernard Shaw is trying to project and demonstrate through the events, actions and characters in this drama Aamchandi Man. He was against bloodshed and he wanted a life of pleasure. He wanted to establish the truth that the pursuit of life was far more greater than a pursuit of sacrificing the life for the nation, for whatever reason it might be. So, when we look the entire drama and when we consider one by one the characters and the events which have taken place in the drama, we come to the conclusion that George Bernard Shaw was quite adamant to refute the standings and ideas flourished by writers and philosophers like Sir Walter Scott, who considered wars a matter of glory, who considered sacrificing the life a glorious act. George Bernard Shaw does not agree. George Bernard Shaw, his character, he has idealized the character who carries chocolates in his pocket rather than cartridges. For that man, on the battlefield, cartridges are not that much important as much as the chocolates in his pocket which protect his life. The hero, Blentersley, when he has been established hero, he says that sufferings and tortures that he has faced, or so many soldiers have to face, we kill each other without knowing each other. We have no personal enmity, even then we are hungry for the life of each other. It appeared to George Bernard Shaw, which he has projected, manifested through the character of Blentersley, that bloodshed was the worst thing in the world and war should be avoided under any circumstances, and relationships based on romanticity, love based on emotion and sentiments are futile. They are not permanent relationships. He advocates that all relationships should be based on understanding of realities in life, and he has proved through the arguments and logics presented by Bletchley, that life needs materialistic gains. Life needs luxurious things which can be obtained and gained only by means of sufficient money and wealth. And by the end of the drama, George Bernard Shaw has proved that rather than sacrificing life, rather than participating in the wars, it is more important to accumulate wealth than sacrificing the life for the nation. It may appear quite ridiculous idea, completely ridiculous. Even when people like me and you, if we sit together and discuss it, I think everybody will agree that when the question of the protection of motherland comes, we must be ready to sacrifice our life. But there, George Bernard Shaw stands with his argument that these feelings should be dispelled from the heart, and we should always try to find out the path of peace where we gain something without shedding blood, without the acts of killing, and without enmity between two countries. That is all, I think, the basic points and basic values of life that George Bernard Shaw tried to convey through his drama Arms and the Man. The very fact that Sergius, a brave soldier who takes one after another a strong and daring steps in war, he is made a laughing stock. And Bletchley, who has no connection with either of the parties, he is not against Bulgaria for the sake of nationality. He is fighting against Bulgaria only because he will be getting money. He gets money. And even during the war, he is least interested in killing the enemies. He is only interested in protecting his life. Now you see what a mean act it is. To protect his life, he blackmails a woman, a lady, a learned lady from an aristocratic family, and he challenges that she should protect her chastity rather than get this man arrested who has been fighting against her country, and he compels Raina to come onto his terms. And the events thereafter are quite clear to you. We have discussed it thoroughly, that ultimately Raina, instead of loving Sergius, just develops a loving relationship with Bletchley. And that is what George Bernard Shaw wanted to prove, and that is what George Bernard Shaw wanted to convey the message, that let us establish relationships on the basis of reality and realistic considerations and romanticity. As per George Bernard Shaw, I don't say, my dear friends, I will never say that romanticity is to be avoided. I will never say that emotion and sentiments have got no value. To me, emotion and sentiments are more valuable than anything in the world. But this is my feeling. This may be your feeling. This is not what George Bernard Shaw has tried to convey through his drama Arms and the Man. So, the only 2 points we can conclude the message he has tried to give through this drama is that romanticity, emotions, sentiments and love are false in his opinion. And he believed that the relationship of a husband and wife cannot be based on divinity of love. Rather, during the process of different steps, actions and events in the drama and the dialogues presented by Bletchley, George Bernard Shaw has proved that even a learned lady would prefer to spend a happy life with a man who has sufficient money and wealth and who is not very much devoted to nationalistic fervor. And it may appear as a joke, or it may appear an idea which can be contradicted. Of course, you may contradict it, we may contradict it, and so many critics have contradicted it. But as regards the message of the drama, these are the 2 important messages that we have to keep in mind, and that you should mention, that wars are not glorious, and romanticity, emotion and sentiments have got no value in the realities of life. So all the relationships which are established on the basis of realistic considerations are lasting relations. That is what George Bernard Shaw has tried to convey through this drama, Arms and the Man. At a later stage, even if you have any doubt, anything, or you want any clarification, my number is there. You may discuss with me. But so far the ideas are concerned, we have concluded the drama, and this was the ultimate question which I should have clarified, and I had clarified it earlier also. And this is from the examination point of view also. What message did George Bernard Shaw want to convey to the people, to the readers through his drama? What I have just mentioned before you, this is what the message that he wanted to convey to the readers of drama. Thank you, friends. That's all for today.